Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this conversation. It's funny because when the Jada Pinkett Smith book came out and her press tour to promote her separation since how many, years ago, to Will Smith and all of the revelations that people were responding to that she was sharing was going on. Not long after that, Will Smith's former assistant, he came out, and I previously talked about that because he did an interview on Comedy Hype YouTube channel. And it was a really good interview. Now, whether people believe his stories or not, he has a book that's coming out that he's releasing. And I previously talked about that. But now this clip from this interview that's actually going to be released, I believe, today on Tasha K's app with Will Smith's former assistant, Bilal. A lot of people are responding to it because she released a clip. It's about 2 minutes long. And people have a lot of thoughts about it, but I'm going to play this clip and then I'm going to continue with my commentary.
It was the woman that everybody wanted, and Will needed that validation to have that type of woman.
You saw her say that Will Smith had a small dick?
Oh, I am saying to you, if a woman is used to something the size of a baby leg and you come in with a pinky toe, there's nothing you can do to please her. You can buy her 80 cars. You can get her 80 private jets. If she's itching for that baby leg, she want that baby leg. You can beat a person so much that they fall into submission.
And who needs enemies when they got friends like you?
Well, I could tell you what goes on the inside. Everybody else is just speculation.
Damn. Somebody told me my picture's in the book. Your picture's in the book and your name is in the book. So you're doing some real elegant pimp. I'm blowing you up. I love that. I'm blowing you up.
Dude, this is what Jada makes the new people do. And I ain't gonna say new. They probably been there after myself, right? They will make you check into a rehab. And they'll pay for the rehab. Even though you're not on drugs, they're gonna pay for the rehab. And you have to go if you want to work with them. And then I've saw sexual acts that I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and duanemartin.
Okay.
Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So 3 minutes later, after them telling me, hey, you got eyes on Will, we need him to come watch this. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, but I see his car there. I'm like, where is this guy at? So now I'm holding Dwayne down too. So I have the keys to his dressing room. So I'm like, yo, and they're calling I'm on walkie-talkie and they're calling my cell phone. Yo, we need to get Will here. And I'm like, yo, kind of fuck down. Like, I'm trying to find this is unlike him, right? So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Murder. It was murder in there.
Oh my God. Listen, I'm sorry. I could do without the visual, but to have someone share such graphic details of something that happened, I think it's just human nature to just automatically get this visual in your mind of that actually happening. And that is crazy. But listen, the reason I wanted to talk about this is not so much about the story itself, which I will be listening to, and I know a lot of other people will be too. But I don't know. Is it smart for Tasha K to do this interview in light of all of the other things that have gone on and are going on right now? Because if you're not aware, she has been mentioned. I don't know if she's actually being sued because I'm seeing different reports. Some reports are that the disgraced singer, the I Believe I Can Fly singer, has filed a lawsuit against the Federal Bureau of Prisons for the actions of a former employee that released content that was supposed to be private to Tasha K, which she in turn shared to her viewing audience. And then there are some people that are reporting that he is suing her. I don't know which story is true, to be honest with you. I don't really know the full details of whether you can sue anybody for anything and any reason. Whether it succeeds, that's another story. But I don't know if her simply sharing information that was shared to her is grounds for her being found liable in some way, shape, or form. It could be, I don't know. And maybe if she benefited from it financially, even if she did not pay for it, because there are some people that are alleging that she paid this person for the information. She actually debunked that a while ago when the news story came out that this officer had been maybe forced to resign. I don't know if the person was terminated, but I believe they were forced to resign, that they had found that had shared this information to the vlogger. So with that, being said, around that time, she came out and debunked that. And she said, I don't pay anybody for information. I don't even pay people for interviews, because the last thing you want people to try to say is, if someone turns around to, like in this situation with Will Smith's former assistant who's doing this interview, they can't come back at her and say, meaning the person who was interviewed, they can't come back at her and say, well, I was paid to say that information. So she said, that's why I don't pay for any information, and I don't pay people to do interviews. That's not what I do. What they share is what they choose to share. And she said, I effed up in the Cardi B situation because I took things a bit too far and I took it personally. But I was not the initial one that actually said what was said about her. So with that being said, she said, that's just not what I do. I don't ever pay anyone for information. And I don't know if some people remember years ago. Remember when Wendy Williams's now ex-husband was on the low creeping with the side piece. And then, she broke the news that, and not just her, but other news outlets, I believe it was UK Daily Mail, had broke the news that he was seeing this chick and that she's actually pregnant. Remember when Tasha K called the hospital? And she reported that she was at the hospital delivering the baby, or had just delivered the baby. And she called the hospital. I mean, was it okay to do that? Probably not. Was it entertaining for we, the viewing audience? Yeah, absolutely. Was it okay to do? Was it ethical or, morally okay? Probably not. But she already says that she is this gossip blogger, that's where she will go. She wants to do stories like that, and that's her thing. It's not for everybody, and that's fine. But a lot of people are really wanting to light the fire under her for what this guy has shared, which we have just seen a clip of what he's going to be talking about, right? I'm quite sure that isn't the only thing. But the truth of the matter is, even though in his previous interview that he did on Comedy Hype, he did allude to that being the thing, if you read between the lines. And some people may say, well, look, you can have people try to guess what you're trying to say and read between the lines, as long as you're not really coming right out and saying this is what actually happened. But he's done previous interviews where he has alluded to Will Smith doing things like this. And I previously talked about that because when Jada was on her press tour to promote this book and talking about this unconventional relationship and all of these different things, I spoke about it and I said, what are they hiding? What is Jada hiding about Will and for Will? And what is Will hiding about Jada and for Jada? I spoke about that actually before I heard this interview that he did on Comedy Hype, and I came back out to say, hey, look, remember I just was talking about that? Well, he's alluding to some things that I was pretty much saying that I believe that they're just holding each other's secrets and allowing these things to go on for the sake of the convenience of just staying in the marriage, which is all about finances for them. So, and I'm not, and they obviously don't hate each other, and that helps, right? I don't believe that's real love. People can try to label it love if they want to, but I don't believe that someone that truly genuinely loves someone would want the person that they love to physically be with other people. That's my personal opinion. And I honestly don't even want to say that's my opinion. I believe that to be the truth. And I believe that because we live in a dark, fallen world, a lot of things that are true, people have distorted it or they have changed it for their truth. This thing that we hear now, I'm speaking my truth. I'm speaking my truth. I'm living my truth. My truth. It's your opinion. It's not the truth. The truth will always stand. Facts can change even, but truth never changes. And so I do believe that because of the world that we live in, and a lot of things are, like the Bible talks about, we're going to call right wrong and wrong right. In the last days, people will become lovers of themselves. We see it so much. Like, dang, I get it. Selfies, I do them too. But I mean, we really do live in a world right now where the Bible talks about how things are going to be in the last days. And I'm not one of these people that's like, Jesus is coming back tomorrow, because even the Bible says that a day with God is like 1,000 years and 1,000 years is like a day. So no one really knows when things are going to be eternally like, it's a wrap. But I don't know how much longer we can go on with the way things are happening. But I'm honestly, and I'm going off a little bit of tangent, and I get it. But I'm saying this to say, I do believe that a lot of people, because of the platform that he chose to share this on, are not going to believe him simply because he chose to go there and go in detail and in depth a little bit. Literally in depth, because can you imagine? Oh my God. Saying this on Tasha K's platform versus him going there to say it on the Comedy Hype channel when he was previously interviewed. I'm going to put a link again, because I shared that before. I'm going to put a link to that interview in the description box so you can hear he's already been talking. So this isn't honestly much new information. It's just more explicit and more in-depth and more details. And if this is what he said he saw, people can choose to believe it, not believe it. It really is up to the listener or the viewer to decide if what someone is saying is true or not true, right? And I'm not here hoping that it is true or that it's not true. Because I mean, hey, if that's the life that they want to live, but they just don't want everybody up in their business, then so be it. I'm just saying, I don't know if he would risk his life, honestly, and livelihood to really come out here to blatantly lie like this if he, one, did not see it happen, and two, possibly have some proof of it happening. Just saying, my personal opinion. Now, do I know that he has some proof? I don't. But I don't believe that he would come out and just because it's Tasha K's platform and knowing how Tasha K, is some people like to say that he would just get on her platform and just outright lie like that. I'm not here to say that anyone's character should be disparaged or they should be outed if it is true, but they don't want other people to know that it is. But these insinuations have been made about Will Smith and Duanemartin for years. There have been insinuations by Lisa Ray when she used to be married to the former president or whatever his title was of the Turks and Caicos. And she was alluding to the fact that he, meaning Duanemartin, interfered in her marriage. And it's like, what could he have really done to interfere in her marriage unless it's him giving this guy access to a lot of women, which if you think option A, he was the president or whatever, again, whatever his title was of the Turks and Caicos. I don't really believe that he would need another man to help him to get access to cheat on his wife with other women, because there were probably women that were there readily available to drop their panties and take off their bras and said, do as you will with me as long as I can get what I want out of you. I don't think that he would need Duanemartin. Like, honestly, who is Duanemartin? He would need Duanemartin's help to cheat with other women. So the option B for me, I would think, would be Duanemartin giving her husband access to himself. I'm just saying. Again, you can think what you want to think. You can take from it whatever you want to take from it. But again, insinuations have been put out there before by Lisa Ray about Duanemartin. And then there have been the rumors about Will Smith and Duanemartin for years. And then a few years ago, Tasha Campbell and now ex-husband Duanemartin got divorced, and a number of things were revealed. And she did not say a whole lot, but we know that he pretty much left her penniless. And when it was revealed about some of the things when it comes to their properties, because a trustee that was overseeing their divorce, the Chapter 7 bankruptcy, when they were going through that, and then this divorce happening years later, the trustee in 2016 put in low-key terms that Duanemartin had a really close relationship with Will Smith. And the trustee said that his personal laptop contained photos and videos that he did not want the world to see. And at the time of the bankruptcy, they owed more than $15 million to creditors. And the trustee suggested that Will and his wife, probably just a name only, but you know how that goes, help them protect their home and other assets. So allegedly, Will and Jada purchased their home and put it behind a trust. And they set it up to conceal themselves as the trust owners. And then the home was titled back to Dwayne's brother, Michael, and a tax person. And the trustee also suggested that there was other financial information that was hidden on Dwayne's personal laptop, along with those photos and videos. And it depicted that there was an unusually close bond between Dwayne and Will. So there's a lot that has been put out there in terms of the insinuations about Duanemartin and Will Smith. And honestly, not just about Will and Dwayne, but just Will, period. So again, I don't know if Tasha Campbell. I don't know if Tasha K should be blamed for her giving this guy a space to speak on her platform when he's already been talking. She's just apparently got a little bit more in-depth details from him that he is saying himself. And she put this clip out there. Of course, it's to garner the interest and whatever of people to want them to engage and watch the content when it is released. But yet and still, this is something that he said. Now, some people may say, well, it's not smart of her to have him on her platform knowing that this is kind of like what she did before and how it opened the floodgates when it came to her and Cardi B, because she did that interview with this alleged former friend of Cardi B's, and that person was saying all of these things about Cardi B at the time. I believe what Tasha K's mistake was, one of them at least, was, continuing on in that vein to say some things about Cardi B, but also I do believe that there were other things involved as to why I felt like Cardi B really took it there to sue her, because I also believe that it was more so not just about her saying something that she did not have. Because I believe when it came to Tasha K and the things that she was putting out there about her husband being unfaithful, those things were more true. And I felt like that was really what stung her the most, because Cardi B really holds her relationship with her husband near and dear and doesn't want anybody coming for him. She really doesn't, or her marriage or her relationship. And so I felt like that hurt her more, the truth about her husband that was being revealed versus possible lies about her having an STD. Because no one likes to have people lying about them. But if something isn't true, and it's not really hurting you financially, which I don't believe that hurt her financially, why would you go to the depths to try to get something from someone that that really doesn't have it? It's because there's more venom behind it and it's more to the story. But anyway, I'm just saying all of that to say the guy has already been speaking. What he's saying on Tasha K's platform might be a little bit more detailed, might be a little bit more explicit, but yet and still he's written a book, and this is his stuff that he's saying he has experienced and he has seen. This is his story to share. He's sharing his story. Whether it's true or not, we don't know because we were not there. We can say we either believe it or not believe it. I don't think he's lying. I would hate that for him if this is something that is true and they just didn't want that information being put out there. But yet and still, if he walked in on that and didn't think that he was that way, I'm quite sure that was probably something that was a bit traumatizing. But also, I believe that he is upset because we know how people are. If they have a relationship with you and they know things about you and secrets about you, they will hold those things most of the time. Most of the time. Some people, they just talk because they can't hold water. But they will hold those things until you make me mad or until we fall out. Is it right? Probably not. But there are some people where they feel like, because we fell out and I feel like you wronged me too, I'm going to wrong you back. And I believe that he did share something in regards to Will's book and how he didn't appreciate some things about himself in Will's book because he didn't give his permission or whatever. And so I also feel like this is definitely revenge. But is it revenge of the lies or is it revenge of the truth? We don't know. All we can do is speculate. But guys, either way, I'm going to be checking out the interview. I don't know about you. You can let me know if you plan on listening to it. But again, I do have the link to the video of the interview that I listened to that he did I don't say a while ago, but it definitely wasn't yesterday. So check that out if you have not checked it out yet. It really was a good interview. And I'm honestly anticipating this one is going to be very detailed and entertaining at the least, if not informative at the most. So I intend on checking it out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.